Your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Vandals have targeted a Tasmanian Buddhist temple in what's suspected to be a racially motivated attack. The Multicultural Council says cases of racism are growing more frequent following the COVID pandemic and now trade tensions.
At the Buddhist temple in Campania, a bell rings to greet guests. The statues are striking, the colours mesmerising, but on Thursday unknown offenders threw paint at the entrance to the spiritual site, draping the word Australia over the gate.
Master's first feeling was that he felt that perhaps this is a reflection of the current situation or the relationship between that's happening in the world.
The incident has been reported to police. It's the second time the gate has been targeted this year after it was egged in May. Racism against the Chinese community is on the rise.
However, although we have seen some racial discrimination in the community, in the Tasmanian community, our situation here is much better than what we see in, for example, the United States.
The Multicultural Council of Tasmania receives anecdotal advice about racism, and we've seen a rise affecting a number of communities, but particularly people of Chinese appearance in Tasmania.
Plans are still in the works to develop the Tasmanian Chinese Cultural Park. Once finished, it's expected to be the largest Buddhist temple in the Southern Hemisphere, although construction has been delayed by the pandemic. As for the Master's message to the Vandals,
we shouldn't be opposing each other. We should be closely held together, hand in hand, to help each other and to mutually promote what is peace and harmony.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
The state government is again facing accusations of secrecy after revealing another claim of historic sex abuse. A state service worker from the north has been stood down following the allegations, but Labor says the government is keeping too many details under wraps.
We're not asking for the name of this individual. Clearly there are processes that have to be done, but it is very unusual not to at least identify the agency or department that this person would have been stood down from.
The government has rejected the claims and says it won't release details that will prejudice an investigation. A Tasmanian sporting legend is now taking his rightful place in the Sport Australia Hall of Fame. With 186 World Championships to his name, David Foster is the first axeman to be inducted into the illustrious club.
How much wood could a wood chopper chop if a wood chopper could chop wood? Well, David Foster's chopped enough to clear a path all the way to the Sport Australia Hall of Fame.
Few sporting resumes read as impressively as that of the legendary Australian axeman.
When you get a phone call from John Bertrand and all of a sudden Robert De Castella and Dawn Fraser, and you're a part of this magnificent group of people. So it was a great honour.
Foster wasn't always a natural sportsman.
I jokingly tell people the only time I was ever picked first at a sporting group at school was when they was looking for a tug of war, the anchor for the tug of war.
Coming from humble beginnings.
Looking back at that, I had hair down to my shoulders, driving a purple Charger, listening to ABBA, and all I wanted to do was win one world title. So back in 1976 or 1978, whatever it was, I could never imagine that my life has turned out the way it has.
He went on to collect more than 1,000 titles, including a 21-year stretch as world champion.
The world's a magnificent place, it's a massive place, and for me to do something that nobody else has ever done, it just proves that dreams do come true, and if you're prepared to work hard.
In his Devonport home lies a treasure trove of sporting memorabilia, but Foster's given away a huge amount to charity. His work without an axe is as good as his work with one.
Although I've given a lot of time to charity, I think I've got more back through this inspiration of kids and the people that I've helped.
One thing he did briefly give away is his moustache.
And I know that a lot of these kids that's going to get these walkers are going to make a big difference. So losing my bit of hair, mate, I've lost hair on the top of my head, and now my moustache, there's only one place left for it to go.
It may have been a few years since his last world title, but he's got some advice for the younger generation too.
You've got to have a few pies. All these people that have this other bullshit food before they compete. You know, just imagine how good they'd be if they get back to the old way. Have a beer and a pie before you go and chop.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Plans to see a century-old railway running once again are back on track. Ida Bay Railway volunteers have reached an agreement with the state government for a licence to kickstart restoration works. It ceased operating 2 years ago following a derailment, but there are hopes it will resume soon. The railway still needs approval from a national rail safety regulator. Special Christmas presents will be delivered to 80 Tasmanian women impacted by gynecological cancers. Care packages have been filled with heat packs, essential toiletries, journals, treats and other products. The pieces ensuring patients can look after their physical and mental well-being and feel supported during treatment.
They don't receive a lot of support as other cancers do around the world. So for us to be able to provide this support to our Tasmanian patients, it's like us being able to give them a big hug.
The packages will be sent off before Christmas and over the new year. Hundreds of bikes rumbled through Hobart today for an annual charity event, helping Tasmanian families still struggling after a tough year. Despite vastly smaller numbers due to COVID-19 restrictions, the generous festive spirit still roared on.
Santa leading the way on a different kind of sleigh, engines revving as a sea of leather fills Macquarie Point. For many of these bikers, the annual Toy Run charity ride is a roaring tradition.
I've been doing the Toy Run since probably '89, so it's got bigger and bigger and bigger, and of course this year it's just great that they got it to go.
It's an absolute buzz. I've done every run since '85 and I've been Santa since '97.
Usually seeing thousands of rumbling bikes flood the heart of Hobart, this year's 41st event looking a little different, with around 500 ticketed riders taking part.
We've had a full turnout. If we just look around, we've got lots of bikes. It was a lot smaller than usual, but the spirit's still here.
Santa's little helper also lending a hand while trying to nab some of the gifts donated. All ready to go to families across the state, doing it tough after a turbulent year.
They've lost work through COVID or for other financial reasons. It's just so great to be able to come together as a community to bring together some toys, some gifts, some other things that are going to make life a little bit nicer, a little bit more joyful for people at Christmas time.
Oh, it's just been such a year of people going without a lot, and I think that the small opportunity to just do this for the community and for those who are missing out is my main motivator.
Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian tennis superstar Eddie Bouchier has taken out the singles grand final of the SRT Logistics Premier League. Beating fellow local Sam Edgar in straight sets 7-5, 6-4 in the showcase match of the day in Hobart. The 6-week Tasmanian tournament involving 24 players has been a welcomed event following the cancellation of a major competition.
Hobart International in early Jan that has been cancelled, big shame. It's really big, and obviously we've got some juniors have just played then, so hopefully they stick around and they can watch some really good tennis and get inspired for sure.
Today's event also included doubles finals.
Good evening. It was a cloudy day today with rain across the state during the afternoon. Hobart had the high with 21 degrees, Launceston 18, 16 in Devonport and just 15 for Burnie. Grove sharing that high with Hobart today, 21, 19 for Strahan, the Friendly Beaches and both Flinders and King Islands. St Helens and Bushy Park 18 along with Maria Island, 16 at Smithton and Lowhead and Lyawini 13 degrees. A cloud band can be seen sitting over Tasmania with low, middle and high level cloud. Speckled cloud is sitting over and south of the Bight, indicating cold air that will follow the front that extends from South Australia to well south of Tasmania. Tomorrow the front moves well east of Tasmania, but another front is approaching from the west. A trough persists over the mainland while a ridge is pushing across southern Australia. Northwesterly winds 25 to 35 knots, but 15 to 20 knots about the southeast and lower east coasts during the morning. Seas 2 to 3 metres, rising to 3 to 4 metres during the afternoon. A severe weather warning is current for northeastern and southwestern Tasmania for damaging winds. A gale warning also current for southern, western and northern coastal waters from Tasman Island to St Helens Point. And a strong wind warning for all remaining waters, including southeast inshore waters and the Central Plateau and southwest lakes. There is a sheep graziers warning also for most grazing districts. Tomorrow, windy conditions across much of the state. Showers increasing in Hobart 17, similar conditions for Richmond 17, Ooze showers 15 there. 17 in Launceston, 15 in Devonport and 14 in Deloraine, all expecting showers. 18 in St Helens, a shower or two. Swansea 18, partly cloudy, and Whitemark 17 with showers. Showers for the west as well, 15 in Burnie and Strawn and 16 at Curry. The UV is in the very high range at 9, with sunrise expected at 5:30 a.m. On Monday, showers about the west, far south and central areas, also the northeast. Showers about the west and far south, but fine elsewhere on Tuesday. And Wednesday looking much the same. A mostly sunny day in Perth tomorrow, 27. Showers for Adelaide and Melbourne, 20, 33 and sunny in Brisbane and Cairns. And Sydney expecting a sunny 32 degrees. And right now in Hobart, it's 16 and cloudy. Launceston 16 with a fair bit of rain. Devonport 15 with rain. And you better hold on to your hat, Lou, with all of that wind that's around tomorrow.
And that's all your news for this Saturday evening. Thanks as always for your company. I'll be back again tomorrow night, but for now, have a lovely evening. Good night.